I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're speaking with Wanda Savage-Moore. She is the author of a wonderful book, a book you're going to want to read, a book you're going to want to use. It is called Get It Together, 7 Principles for the Young and Restless. It also is a 7-week devotional that guides readers on a transformative journey towards personal growth and enlightenment. We're delighted to have Wanda join us here today on Spotlight. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel. Wanda, thank you so much for being our guest today.
You're welcome. Glad to be here, Mr. Crawford.
My pleasure. You have boiled this down to 7 principles that I think are so useful and so handy. Let's go through them. What are they?
Well, the 7 principles focus on education, career, self-esteem, relationships, health and well-being, spirituality, and understanding your life purpose.
Okay,
and
great.
These are really like the 7 things that I feel are, in many cases, holding people back.
Mm-hmm. And when you say it's holding them back how? That they haven't developed these areas, that they have concerns about these areas? Tell us about that.
Well, they're struggling in these areas for one reason or another. And it's partially because of where we are in this world right now. There are just a lot of things going on with, the digital eruption and social media addictions and this spiritual corruption, and I call it the physical, mental, and emotional disruption all around us. And it's led to a really unhealthy space for many of the young and the restless.
And even the old and the restless, because it seems like even old guys like me are constantly like this on our phone. There's constantly a digital distraction of some sort. I mean, and everything's a priority. Well, this is a business call. This is a business email. That's a client who's texting me. It's good to unplug a little bit, don't you think?
Oh, yes, definitely. It's good to focus and to really determine what it is that is my priority. What am I really here for? And how do I, stay focused for, and reach my goals.
Now, your book is called Get It Together, and that's the book, but there's also a devotional that's kind of like a workbook. Tell me about the two.
Well, the book, I was counseled by my young and the restless population to make it short, sweet, to the point. It has several QR codes in it with, people can go in and listen to from an audio perspective. And, it's just kind of gets to the point on the 7 principles. The devotional started out being a 7-day devotional, turned out to be a 7-week devotional. And it just goes through a day-by-day process of really surrendering and getting in alignment in each one of these areas so that you can, just be encouraged and, get the support you need if you're just, struggling to figure out what way to go, how to move forward.
Now, are these readings from scripture, or is it prayer? Tell us a little bit about how each week works.
Well, each week, there are 7 days, of course. So each day you take one aspect of the principle, and there is a scriptural basis for the scriptural context for what is discussed in that particular day. But it's all related to that particular principle. And it's still short. It's only like, a page of devotional, and then there's a prayer for you, scriptural basis, and then it's an opportunity for you to take some notes, or if you want to really kind of think through it, it's up to you. But you can actually do the daily devotional piece in probably 5 minutes.
Absolutely. It seems that faith is very important to you, and it seems like faith and spirituality is a component that's missing for a lot of people nowadays, don't you think?
Well, I think people are struggling to understand it because there's also elements of corruption that have changed the focus of you know just what spirituality is. So hopefully, the book in itself, it takes a different approach. It's broader, and it opens up an opportunity for people to create their own relationship with the spirit.
Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about your career professionally, your journey professionally. You work as a life coach, I understand?
Yes, I am an ICF certified coach. I coach people, leaders in organizations across the country. And I also coach, I would say, young professionals who are, moving in to their life goals and purpose. And I'm finding that there's more and more coaching that's being supported by organizations across the country these days, which is a good thing, because it used to be an executive coach. You had to be an executive coach, but now you can coach people at various levels in their careers, at various levels in places in their lives, and people are open to kind of looking at what it is they really want to do and how to best achieve that.
It sounds like Get It Together could also be sort of a workshop class that you could hold as well, or a lecture series. It seems like a TED Talk in the making, if you will.
Yes.
I think there's really a great need for it today.
Yes. And, a conference, I thought about helping organizations do a lot of things with this, and not just churches. I'm talking about organizations who are just looking to help people reflect on their lives and find a way to connect and to find their purpose. We are finding that, this generation, I'll say, millennials, Gen Zers are a lot more purpose driven, and they're looking for they're asking the why question a lot more, and that's kind of where this book and devotional are focused.
Yeah, and I think asking those questions, asking the why am I going to college? Maybe it's for me, maybe it's not for me, maybe a craft is for me. Maybe being a tradesperson is good for me. Why do I drive 2 hours through traffic every day to get to an office when I can work on a keyboard remotely and do the same thing? So it's a changing society right now. It's kind of a great opportunity, don't you think?
Yes, it's a great opportunity for innovation, for change, for transformation. And the question of why really needs to be explored a lot more than it probably used to be, certainly in corporate America. If you think about it, baby boomers pretty much accepted whatever the boss said.
Yeah.
And, we did it the best we could. That's how we did it. And then the next generations coming along started asking the questions.
Yeah. When I started my career back in 1983 at CBS News,
Okay.
which is kind of a liberal place. If I told you how the bosses treated us, you probably wouldn't believe it.
Oh, yes,
or maybe you would. Maybe you would. And the craziness that went on in that newsroom, you wouldn't believe it. Or maybe you would, that's for sure. What was it like for you writing this book? Or these books, I should say, because it's two parts. There's the actual book, Get It Together, and there's a 7-week devotional. That's a workbook as well. Go ahead, tell me what it was like writing them.
Well, the story kind of goes like this. I'm not really a writer, an author. I can say that I've done a lot of conferences and a lot of speaking, but I was called to put it on paper, and I I questioned whether that was really what I needed to do, and I kind of fought it a little bit, but I felt the calling, and so I actually wrote the book itself, the basic of the book, in probably a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then the devotional took a little bit more time
Right.
because once I realized, I kind of woke up and said, oh my God, I actually did write a book. Then I said, I probably need to spend this time on the devotional and really work through it. So it was a process.
Well, we're glad you worked through it. We're glad you went through the process. It is terrific. The name of the book is Get It Together, 7 Principles for the Young and Restless. It also comes separately, a 7-week devotional by the same name, Get It Together. They're both written by Wanda Savage-Moore. They are wonderful reads. They will help you get a little more introspective on your own life. If you're not asking why, you should be, and this book will help you. You got it. Get it together. Wanda, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Logan.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.